Well, good morning, boys. Well, it's not really morning anymore. Well, I guess it is. It's almost 10 o'clock. It's Saturday morning, and I'm making a beef stroganoff. Now, there's a lot of easier ways to do this, but I decided I'm going to try something. But I decided I'm going to go all out on this one. I'm not going to spare the calories. I cannot tell you how easy this actually is to make. It just takes a little hamburger meat and some onion flakes or some minced onion and some little sour cream and cream and mushroom soup, and you can pour it over rice or you can pour it over noodles. I am going to go all out this time. I got some baby portobellos, and I'm going to saute them with the mushrooms. And I'm not going to put any wine in this, but I'm going to saute them with the mushrooms separately. Then we're going to throw in our ground beef and cook up a monster batch of stroganoff. Now, I didn't get the cheapo hamburger meat. That just makes too much grease. Half of it disappears anyway into grease. So I've got this is the 8515 ground beef round. You can even use sirloin. I know sirloin would just be incredible, but I got to draw the line somewhere, you know, on the old credit card, because well, food is getting expensive. So, but we're going to leave it up a little bit this morning. It's the day before 9/11, and I'm listening to Fox News, and there's a lot of ceremonial stuff going on. Of course, oh man, you know, the big thing is about how Mayor Bloomberg is not only not invited the first responders, the fire department, the police, etc. He has banned the clergy. I mean, if you're a priest, you can't go if you had a ticket. If you're a preacher, don't even bother showing up. They won't let you in. They won't let you anywhere around it. So, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad the way things have gone, and it's really almost disgusting. But I don't put anything past that Bloomberg. But you know what? It's just like I've told other friends. You can blame Obama or you can blame Bloomberg, but the fact of the matter is, those New Yorkers elected that guy. They're the one that put him in office, and they're the ones that are responsible. And you know what? Now it's coming back to bite them in the ass. And I'm real sorry about that, but that is really the way it is. That's just the way it is. Let's throw some onions in here. That's smelling good already, boys. I'm going to cut a little bit more onion up. I got my water heating up, so it'll be ready to boil here shortly. And you don't even have to see, you can just hear, but I'm not one of them fancy chef chopping. I'm not one of them fancy chef choppers. I'm just chop it a little at a time, man. I wish I had those skills. Because I do like to cook. I cook quite a bit too. But my brand of cooking is more the outdoor style. That's what I really enjoy. I enjoy that campfire cooking. Now I just threw another cube of butter in there, and basically for no other reason than I can. And baby portobellos. Oh yeah. That's going to be good, I guarantee. I'm sorry. I did this myself. Let's stir this around just a little bit. Butter's heating up, the water's heating up nice. I usually, now, truthfully guys, I usually put some ground beef in there, fry it up, drain off a little bit of the grease, and then I throw in a can of cream of mushroom soup and one small deal of sour cream and some minced onion. Sprinkle a little minced onion in there, salt and pepper to taste. And then the secret ingredient is the paprika. Man, you gotta have, it doesn't even look right unless you got paprika. That kind of adds a little color to it. Otherwise, it's kind of white. The paprika kind of turns it kind of a reddish, you know, kind of a pretty color, brownish sauce. And man, it's easy. And then you just pour that over rice or noodles, whatever you really like. But this time, man, I decided I want a nice, big, thick, chunky. I maybe should have got some more mushrooms, really. That's a whole crate of them, you know. And those are probably going to shrink up pretty good. That's an awful lot of damn onions, too. I wonder if I screwed it up already. Nah, surely not. You know, some of y'all, I think, follow old Cutlery Lover, Jeff at Cutlery Lover. Well, I've decided that I was gonna start trying some of those hot peppers, and I wanted to build up my tolerance to them, you know, gradually and slowly. And I got hold of a Serrano today that lit me up. And I was at work, and stand by one. I pulled a couple of those onions out of there. That Serrano lit me up. And I was doing everything I could to convince my boss, hey, try this. This is supposed to be only slightly hotter than a jalapeno. No big deal, Pete. And to be a smart ass, you know, I'd already cut one in half. And to be a smart ass, man, I plopped that half right in my mouth. Took a couple of chunks of it. And a heat wave was pretty, it stung my tongue a little bit. And then it hit the back of my throat. And then it builded up and builded up and builded up. And it just wasn't going to stop. And my boss was laughing. And the customers were laughing. I just had no idea it was that hot. But brother, it was hot. So that kind of spoiled things for me. Now I really don't have any interest in building my my tolerance up to hot peppers or chilies. I just woo. Now I know it's not any Nag jaloki or boot jaloki. It's no ghost pepper. I know that. Regardless, that son of a gun is hot. Now I'm gonna throw the noodles in because that water looks like it wants to boil. And I'm just using the American Beauty. Let me see if I can get that in there. American Beauty extra wide egg noodles. Nothing to it. You hear them? They're talking about it on the news right now. It's really bothering a lot of folks. Well, I bet it is. What a black eye for New York. On 9/11. Good grief. What is that man thinking? What a jerk. I mean, I can't even... that gets all over me. It really does. And they've got those people up there in that city that, you know, want to take the cross down. They want to do everything they can to eliminate religion. That really, seriously, that's what it's all about. 86% of this country is Judeo-Christian. 80%, 86%. You know, believe in God. Believe in the Judeo-Christian God. 86%. I think it's just reprehensible the way they treat people of religion. We're here because of freedom religion. That's why the Pilgrims came here in the first place, was to have freedom of religion. They wanted to be able to worship God in the way that they wanted to worship God. And here you go, you got a mayor in New York that says, oh no, we're not having any representatives of God here today. Okay, that's a big old, well, threw the package away. I think I already gave you the ratio of fat in this. But this is pretty good stuff. This is ground round. And it really came out good last time. That's what made me decide I want to go ahead and get some big mushrooms with this. Let's kick it up a notch, like Emerald says. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Okay, yeah, I'm a Christian. But you know what? The absence of a cross, or the absence of any religious symbol, is the symbol for atheism. Okay, atheism doesn't have a symbol, in other words. Theirs is lack of religion, so it's lack of a symbol. So where you don't see a cross or you don't see a Star of David, that is the sign of atheism. That is their symbol. Why should they be able to put their symbol everywhere? Take ours down and put theirs up. And what really kills me is it's usually one or two people that make the stink about it. One or two people. Where the vast majority of people say, leave it alone. But you got some liberal ninth. Oh man. You got some liberal Ninth Court of Appeals. And the Supreme Court over there in California, it just disgusts me. Just disgusts me. Sometimes I think this country would be better off if the West Coast and the East Coast just fell off in the freaking ocean. But you know, I know that the vast majority of New Yorkers feel the way I do. I know because I used to live up there. And I know they're astounded too that their mayor has not only not invited first responders, but he's banned clergy of any religion. Banned them. I don't know what that man's thinking. Maybe he's hit his head, you know, or maybe he was intoxicated when he made that decision. I don't know, because there's just no excuse. There's no excuse for that. So, seriously, my friends, what do you think? You think he slipped and hit his head? That's not even where you can like come up to Obama and say, you know, that's a bad decision. What kind of an idiot would do something like that? Now, this is reprehensible. It's an attack on people of religion. That's what it is. It's a thoughtless. Man, I'm so mad I can hardly even talk. It just makes me sick. But you know what? Those people keep electing him, keep putting him in office, re-elect him every year. I guess as long as the popo's not breaking down your door, oh, he's doing a good job, I guess. Well, this is the type of job he's doing. It's disgusting. And the rest of the country thinks that way too. So here's your day, New York. All the heroic first responders, you know, that were rushed in there at their own peril, even after the first tower fell. Here they are, uninvited from the 911 ceremony, from the memorial for the families. I think you ought to maybe ask the families if they want those first responders there or not. You might want to ask those families if they want their preacher or their priest there. Someone might want to ask Bloomberg, where's your luggage? Because you're going on a long trip. We don't need you anymore. That's what they ought to be saying to Bloomberg. You're no longer needed. That's the worst decision I think I've ever heard anybody make. I am so disgusted at this. Okay, I've tried to calm myself. I've tried to calm down a little bit. Now, that meat's about to brown up pretty good, and it's about the stage where I like to hit it with little Larry's seasoned salt. It's looking good, y'all. And you can see there's very little grease in this. It's just kind of lines the pan, but there's not any, big pools of it like you get with normal hamburger. And I'm one of them dudes that used to say, man, that's where all the flavor's at. Well, you know what? I was wrong. There's plenty of flavor in a good grade of beef. You don't need all that grease. This is looking good. We'll be back in a minute. I'll tell you what, all those first responder testimonies they give about what they did and who they ran into and what happened when they were in the buildings, and that's just shocking. I mean, I'm kind of scared of heights anyways. I don't know about y'all, but an elevator that would be on the outside of a building, man, my back would be to the wall the whole time. I like to go rappelling too, and I used to do a lot of rock climbing, and I did it really because it scared the hell out of me, to be honest. It just scared me to death, and I don't know, I guess it was a way of facing my fears head on, so to speak. But when you start talking heights like the World Trade Center and these skyscrapers in New York, I wouldn't even like going up the elevator on the inside of the building, much less on the outside. And I just can't imagine riding one of them big beasts down. I just can't imagine. I mean, that looks pretty brown to me, y'all. I mean, there's a little pink left in there, but I think that'll cook out with our sauce. Let me stir it up really good and make sure. Oh, those onions are nice and caramelized. I can barely see them in there. They've almost disappeared. Okay. It's time to start adding the wet stuff. Like I said, we're going to do 2 cans of this. Sorry if I bumped y'all around a little bit, but I'm going to try and get every bit out of there I can, man, because I'm not cheap, but I just don't want to waste it. Let's do another one of those. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned or not, this is a double recipe. There's 2 pounds of meat, or a little more actually. And there's 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup. So if you're making just a normal order, it'd just be 1 can of soup, one small deal of sour cream, one pound of hamburger meat. And it's really easy to do. There's no need to chop up onions and all that other stuff, man. You just You can get it all in a jar. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just wanted to go the extra mile today. It's from watching Cutlery Lover. That old Jeff, he makes me hungry every time I turn one of his cooking videos on. He made a grilled cheese last night. And now I'm beaming for a grilled cheese. But I've been meaning to make this since he made that, all that dish with the vegetables. I can't remember what it is now. So, I decided today was as good a day as any. You see what that looks like, y'all? Man, you just kind of mix that all in there together. That's sour cream and creamy mushroom soup. Just fold that all in there. Now, we've already sprinkled a little seasoned salt in there. So now we're going to hit it with some paprika and some crushed ground pepper. Oh yeah, just a little McCormick paprika and some crushed ground pepper. You know, I found you really don't need much pepper when you're using this crushed ground pepper, because the flavor is in the oils, and when you crush those seeds up, that's man, that flavor is just bold out of there. The stuff you get in the little shakers, it's already, you know, crushed ground black pepper. That oil is like dry, so it takes 2 to 3 times as much of it to add a pepper flavor. But a couple of turns on that crushed ground black pepper, a couple of turns on those seeds in there, those corns or whatever you call them, peppercorns. Oh, is that looking good or what? Look how thick that is, man. That is gonna be awesome. Okay, that was breathing on its own. So you turn the heat down. You just want to simmer it for about 10-15 minutes, and it's like done, man. Seriously, there is nothing to this dish, and it is off the chain. It's so good. I am going to add some more salt, which is probably in the living room, the last place I used it. Yeah, I eat in my living room. I like to watch TV while I'm eating. Alright, let's put a little salt in there. Now, not too much, because, man, once you've overdone salt, that's it. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. This is really looking good. I'm going to take this spoon and just see what it tastes like. Oh, man. Wish you guys were here. No doubt about it. Wow. Okay, as you guys can see, there's some egg noodles on there. And I'm just going to dish a little bit of this on them. Get some of them big fat portobellos on there. And that's what you got. Mighty tasty, guys. Well, thanks for coming out and watching me cook, Roger. Sorry if you had to hear me rant and rave about that idiot mayor in New York, but sorry about that. But if you try this meal, like I said, you can try it the cheap way and the easy way, and just get you a can of green giant mushrooms, or a jar, and throw them in there instead of the baby portobellos, and shake you a few minced onions in there, or chopped onions, instead of buying an onion and chopping it up and sauteing your mushrooms and onions together and stuff. You just mix it all together, and it's delish. Hope you like it. This is Wolf, and I'm out.